Three, two, one.
And welcome everybody to Answers with the Astral Bag Lady with your host, Reverend Dr. L. Newman and Reverend Spirit Soaring.
You got it right.
Tonight, we're going to talk about whatever.
I prefer to call it a mellifluous metaphysical melange, which means I have a pile of papers cats sleeping on. If I can't get to them, oh well, got my spots out. And we have enough powerful astrological transits right now to keep us going, well, another 6 weeks. Initially, happy birthday. All Virgos, happy birthday. You know, no, you're not that. Happy birthdays, have a cupcake, have a muffin, take that. Conjuncted, no, not conjuncted, but in the same sign, in the stellium, duh. With Mars at 16 of Virgo, Mercury at 22 of Virgo, Sun at 1 baby degree. Now remember, where you spend your solar return, that's your birthday, is more important than how you spend it. Now, I used to go to the laundromat, my people, and we'd feast on peanut butter crackers, lukewarm pop, and have a great time. And I get all the comfort stuff, big stuff. You have to go there anyway. They turned that into a fat farm, at which we have funny little streets in Royal Oak that make no sense at all. They kind of veer off, and then they make a left and a right, and you end up in a field, or park, usually a park. So I was driving by one day, and the way the lights are timed, unless you're going 15 miles over the speed limit, you're going to sit at every light. And we come to one really big intersection, which is...
Actually, I did the math because I was there. It takes 7.5 miles of speed limit over or 3 miles of speed limit under to defeat your traffic lights.
Well, the under almost happened. So I get to the corner and we're creeping. You'd think it was like picking somebody up from the airport, but I have a loop for that. Anyhow, we're crawling. It's back before the bug. I'm sorry, the damn Pemic. I like that much better.
Damn.
Gosh damn Pemic. And there's this lady, a woman, not to fat shame, a woman of substance, is teaching something like a Zumba class. You can't hear the music, but ladies are sweating, bodies are moving, and lady on the stage, make it burn, something like that. And I'm sitting there waiting for the light to change, and I'm just looking because there's movement, kind of like a gopher, And as I look, she goes into like a New York mode, and she just says step, shuffle, step, right off the stage. Bam, landed on her, proud behind, and points for me. I was the only person that didn't laugh hysterically. My eyes did water. I had to run for a bathroom, but I did not cry immediately because I've landed on my ass enough times. So there, or Macy was the end. We are right now on the wings of the Aries moon. That gives us 2.5 days to weave absolute miracles. Oh, Swampy Seer. Hi, kiddos. Pass the Twinkies in the Red Bull. No Twinkies, but Red Bull. Yeah. Sugar-free or sugar? I have both because I've discovered it'll never be Mountain Dew. So, anywho.
Swampy drinks Mountain Dew. Hush.
I told you, my son-in-law drinks 2 liters for breakfast with coffee. Now, if that isn't some kind of sad addiction, I think the oxycodone did much damage.
They're looking for a Mountain Dew replacement for me.
Really? Cocaine, heroin. Run, rabbit, run.
I could just drink high test coffee all day and get that part of it. It's the sugar and what's this ingredient? The preservative.
Never ever read the ingredients. You're gonna find out. Same stuff's in your snow tires. It's in your underwear. It's in your pancake syrup. It's in your plant food. It's in the kitty litter in the bathroom. You don't want to read the ingredients. That's a Virgo thing. If we get stuck in the bathroom too long without reading material, we'll start reading the stuff in the bathroom. What's Zorbital? I've never heard of Zorbital.
look, that works because I eliminated half the stuff in the bathroom from needing to go with us.
Somehow, well, I get close from a wonderful website called Fab Kids. It's about to run out because Maisie, as you know, who is I think 9, 10, something like that, wears a size 16. So there, she's she's outgrown the need for Fab Kids. But somehow on the bottom they give you these free magazine subscriptions. I don't have an office. I don't need a pile of magazines. Thank you. I gotta have catalogs to read in the bathroom. And somewhere along the line, between the time that Facebook was trying to sell me queen size wedding gowns and Depends, there's a vision, isn't it? Um, they sent me the oddest, strangest stuff, including a magazine called Essence, which is teaching me how to be a proud black woman. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I don't know that there's a Wachicha word for proud black woman other than proud black woman. Uh, and I wouldn't mind it, if I could get some SBA loans or something. But I can't pass. I just can't pass. I passed for a minister. That's a full-time job.
Yeah, but you would be hard pressed to pass for a proud black woman.
I think so. I wish I were, because black ladies, no matter how large or small, have an innate beauty. They glow. They're amazing. Whereas white women, we're into the whole, well, many of us have been kind of pushed into that body shaming thing.
Sucks.
Which is stupid. Stupid.
Look, I teach all of my first year students the abhorrent nature of superficiality.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Because it's a quick way to find yourself in a bad
Mm-hmm.
one. Because somebody's always going to one up you when you're living. That's a crime. We can't be one upped. So we spend more and more. We do ridiculous and more ridiculous things to keep ahead of the trends, and it's toxic. Why keep ahead of the trends? Do your own thing. Somebody will get the picture, and there'll be a neutral. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I, we have a conversation in the house frequently because sometimes I feel beholden to put on the clerical shirt.
Yeah.
To perform my duties, and they all look at me like I'm gone alien when I do that because they're used to seeing me be me.
Mm-hmm.
They know if I put on the choker, I'm going to work. They know if I'm put the clerical shirt on, I think I've got I guess I dress for the client.
Sure. You have to.
But it's really a shame that you have to because.
Well, if it makes a comfort zone for the person with whom you're working, it's well worth the effort. I have, only for weddings, funerals, and christenings, I have a robe and I have 3 sets of vestments. Heavy suckers. One from Quebec from like 1840 something, which weighs a ton. It's like burnt, it's brocade pattern and it's burnt velvet, black and gold. But it's not appropriate anywhere else. It's just not appropriate.
Yeah. No, I will willingly dress correctly if I have to perform that kind of service. But most of the time, people that come to me need the Heyoka clown anyway.
Sure. And there's no reason you can't do it. You can slide it in. If I can get people at a funeral laughing, I've done a good thing, because I've reminded them mourning is necessary, but you need joy to balance it out.
Yeah. Like we trap ourselves in the mourning state because of the programming.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's victim speak. It's pure victim speak. Because when your beloveds make their transitions, remind me, talk about Lady Dog. When your beloveds make their transitions, they don't want you to suffer. They didn't make you suffer when they were alive, did they? Probably not, or they wouldn't have been your beloveds. Not for long. They want you to get on with your life and have a healthy life. So this morning at 8:34 a.m., beautiful lady dog passed away in my daughter's arms. It's her daughter's dog. She got the dog back when Mr. Blue was about 2.5, which isn't bad. He lived to be, I think, 13, 14 years old. She was a Brittany Spaniel. They love herding. And so when I babysit for Maisie, she would do her best to herd me down the basement steps and off the landing into a flying situation. I learned to just stick my back to the wall. I kept telling her, don't keep the milk bones in the basement. That's like a kamikaze run for me because they can't shut the door fast enough. I got two 75-pound dogs. It's over, you know. So she passed away this morning. God bless, sweetie pie. We will miss you. And like I said last week, this is not heaven for critters. This is something else. I don't know if it's purgatory. I don't think it's hell unless you meet up with bad people.
And talking to some of the hereditary types, they have the belief that the beloved animals repeat just as often as we do.
Absolutely. I've had the same Maine Coon in different Maine Coon bodies 5 times. 5 times. And the last family member that we have at the moment is the bum. And he's got all the same mannerisms, all the same markings, and an even nicer personality than the rest. So for Lady Dog, Baby Girl, enjoy the Summerland. Thank you for the love you gave us. And note that for every minute we sent loving energy your way, you sent back 1,000-fold. For what you did for my heart, the family's heart, thank you so much. When Senpai died, I came across a little marker that I'm going to send to the kids. It simply says, if love could have saved you, you would have lived forever. Amen.
Right. We've got Joanne Gill in the room.
Yes.
She was going to try to show up last week. She lost her daughter a week before last.
Oh, honey.
She has some questions that she wants to ask.
Shoot.
I don't know if she wants to ask them publicly or if she wants to get
Well,
up later.
I can be vague. I work for the government. I can be vague. We're working on it. We'll get back to you when we have an answer. Nothing can possibly prepare you for the loss of a child. Whether they've been sick for years or something just suddenly happening, it's not within the natural order of things, which is, I think, why I was so drawn to the AIDS babies to begin with, because not only were their mothers usually painfully sick or painfully young, it was almost like they needed me to mommy them so they could transition. Now, while I'm thinking I'm doing this great thing for these kids, they're teaching me so much about love and respect, living in the moment, being a good person, and touching people's hearts when you can't even say a word.
Yeah.
So for that, I give much, much thanks. Is she going to be anonymous, or is she coughing it up?
She is watching, so we'll let her watch for now.
It's a mixed blessing, because this sweet darling, had she lived through what she lived through, it would have been not good. Depleting and painful and awful. So we can give thanks for that. I also see a baby boy with her brother, some family member with her, taking her over.
Well, I've always taken the stance because, it's not a hereditary stance. Those that leave early leave for a reason. They leave taking something with them.
Absolutely.
We couldn't survive. And they leave blessings for us.
Absolutely. Our beloved Dave Jones lost his beautiful wife, Cher. And he's the man who started Para-X. He was the Pope of Para-X. Still is, as far as I'm concerned, because since him, no one has shown any particular caring or business sense. So Para-X is stuck where they choose to be stuck. It's unfortunate. You try to fix it. I tried to help them. They didn't want to hear it. That's just fine. But he's been in mourning a good bad 3 years. And part of me wants to shake him and say, do you really think that beautiful woman who brought you so much joy would want you to be so damn miserable right now? That is not the purpose. And once again, how many people are blessed enough to meet a soulmate? Precious few. So that makes our time together that much more important.
I don't know. I watch soulmates pass in the wind on the daily, and I sit and chuckle because they're so blissfully unaware of what's going on around them that they've missed their best opportunity.
Oh yeah, I'm on this. It's me. I'm on this Facebook page, which is something like morbid appreciation for death and dying. Well, okay, I'm your Huckleberry, and one woman was like, "I'm so afraid of how I'll die," and I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to sell the book. It's not quite finished yet, uh, but I do know the 2 times this year and the previous times there was no pain in it. There might have been something, for a moment, and then it was just beautiful. And how could you deny that from somebody you supposedly care for? Just asking. Just asking.
Uh, I've had a couple of times that were very blissful. I knew immediately that I was sitting with my ancestors.
Hmm.
Um, but then I've had a couple of the times where crash cart emergency was kind of initiated.
Yeah.
Coming back into your body with them burning your chest with paddles is no
Not
fun.
good. Mm-mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
I did it
Mm-mm.
twice.
Yeah. Yeah. There's such a thin veil, and Pisces is.
They took out before they paddled me.
Oh well, decent. Once again, Aries moon. It gives us the strength to start again. It is pure, undiluted Mars energy, and as long as the moon will be in Aries, so it's 2.5 days, we will have the Aries moon in a square to Pluto in Capricorn. Now, we've spoken about Capricorn before. Let's do it again. I'm dull. Capricorn is about personal responsibility. It's about discipline. It's about why you chose the life script you did, complete with all the colorful and sometimes funky challenges. And the real purpose, you see, is to delve deeply into your psyche and help you get rid of that wonderful word that my partner said a minute ago, toxins. We've all had toxic relationships. We've all had toxic thoughts, toxic workplaces,
Toxic
toxic,
programming.
yes, toxic situations. And this is where we can, one, do a little self discovery, look at what's bothering you. And then instead of saying, this is why it's bothering me, you can say, this is where that pain really comes from. This was like something that reminded me of that thing, which I really haven't worked out. Once I've worked out that thing that's sitting somewhere between my psychic gizzard and my psyche, then it won't be an issue anymore. It's like I said before, really powerful people don't have to prove it.
No.
They carry it. They carry it in their carriage, in their phraseology, in their gesture. You can feel this person's trustworthy, this person's honest, this person is dedicated to duty. We'll do the due diligence, whatever it takes. It's like you needed that thingamajig, whatchamacallit, it, whatever. Whatever.
That
So,
thing that can keep the show going after today.
yeah, that funky little thing, after all the money we put into computers and towers and monitors and whatever the hell, chump change. And as I said before, I have this gift. I can manifest money for anybody but me. I'm too Virgo. I was born to the Puritan work ethic, and I do understand that if I'm meant to have something, I'll make it happen somehow. Somehow. Right now, I'm trying to give away a 45-inch flat screen TV. It's beautiful. Roku enabled, blah, blah, blah. The one has the voice thing that says, find me dirty movies. Dirty movies. Intellects need release too. Anyhow, although once again, Pornhub is free, I could probably drop the app on the TV. Anyhow, you ask for a certain actor or a certain title, and bam, there it is. No, I get this new one, which is okay. It's the same exact size, only smaller. Are you with me? Because the old one had a big border around it, this one doesn't. So they're
Yeah.
both 45 inch, which actually means 43 and a half. Yeah, size matters. So I'm looking at giving this away, and it's like, my friend, sell it. I don't want to sell it. The old girl's paid for herself many times. I got the new one that fits much better on the mantle because I have all that tchotchke stuff up there. I'll just go online. Yeah. Yeah. Be right back after unloading. The girls are on the way. The clan is on the way. Hey. Wow. Isn't it amazing? Every time you move, you discover all the stuff you don't want. Shoes you don't need, or all of the above.
We've decided to throw everything into a storage space
Sort it later.
and sort it when we get back.
Yeah.
Because we've been trying to hold a yard sale for weeks.
No.
And look, I'm door dashing till 1 or 2 in the morning, trying. Everybody thinks I'm sitting on my ass, not doing anything but asking for hands.
I'll take a pizza, double cheese.
Yeah, I've been door dashing from 10 till 2, trying to do my part and making this thing happen. And now I'm selling now I'm selling Bessie. So.
Oh, Bessie, honey.
But everybody's pitching in. Everybody's doing their part to make this happen. So by the time Saturday morning or Sunday morning rolls around and it's time to do a yard sale, everybody's like, "Oh."
I have never made money I've never made money at a yard sale, and the only good thing about having a yard sale, which I'm not about to do, is that on the last day, whatever stuff is left, I call the Vietnam veterans and they pick it up. I like that. So when it goes out the door, I tell the girls, when it hits the porch, it's gone. Say bye-bye. Mommy's done with it.
We're probably going to call the Mile High thrift store. They're the ones that benefit the Vietnam veterans here, and have them come pick up a bunch of stuff on our curb. But none of that stuff will go to the curb until Monday.
Yeah, that's my this weekend project. I gave myself a week to finish clearing out my closet because I have all those stupid fancy clothes I've never got. It's not Halloween every day.
In the middle of the damn Pendic, with a moratorium, and not only statewide moratorium for in place, there's another standing federal moratorium in place. That's the papers and won't renew our lease. So we've had a dream. We've had a vision of how we generate what we need for next year. We're all taking that leap of faith.
Life's a leap of faith.
Yeah, but when you live like us, leaps of faith can be drastic.
Drastic, not bad. It's a big change. Without faith, there's no future.
Without faith, there's no progress.
Without faith, there's no understanding. With faith, anything is possible. I put 2 girls through college with no benefits and no backup. And if I'd ever once thought I couldn't do it, it wouldn't have happened. But it's like they have to have it. And now you get a doctorate and they want you to stuff envelopes. I mean, please. Really. Really. So I applaud you for that. Like I said, I'm going to find a good way to give this television away. I'm sure if I go online, there's some charity that will pick it up because the veterans won't. They don't take large electronics. Well, 45-inch TV, pretty large electronics. But the thing is, they kept turning itself off because the cat would run behind the TV because she could, the skinny one. And then I'd have to empty the whole entire mantle. Then I'd have to move a 40-pound mailbox. I got this cool old English mailbox that locks, but it calls for cement. That's the job for Magic Mike. And it's just too damn high. Most I can do is ask him to come polish off a beer. That's it. So, fine. It's all good. Good with it. Move up the crap. And then I get to slide this 38-pound television on this little pinky base, off the mantle, sit on my shoulder, hope I don't break my foot, or the lead glass fire screen's right under it, and then plug it back in. Done. I have bent those prongs so much, I'm surprised they didn't fall off, but they didn't. So it's sitting behind my couch, so I don't have to see it. But I will trip over it if we go back there. Got the owner's manual, got the buttons. It's Roku enabled, whatever. Voice activated, which I'm getting again somehow, because I'm lazy. So there. So it's going. I know the kids will take it, but I'm not going to see them this year. As you may have noticed, Michigan has a marked upswing in bug cases.
Yeah.
Something like last week alone, 1,600.
Well, there's
Don't wear a mask. Lick doorknobs.
300,000 children in quarantine this week because of
Lick people. Lick people, lick donuts, lick gas pumps. Just get it over with. Then maybe you get lucky enough to get the next one. The variant.
I've had it twice. I don't want it again.
I know. And technically, you weren't supposed to be able to get it second time. Oh, well.
Yeah. So apparently the antibodies from one don't work on the next one.
Okay.
You have to have a cocktail of them to
Oh, yeah. It's like the old AIDS treatment. So it says that Don is back already. That's 10 minutes. That can't be very far to your storage place.
No, she's back in the car.
Oh, okay. Well,
She's listening.
10 minutes still isn't bad, you know.
10 minutes down the road. They're moving right along.
That's good. Well, and it's I keep giving you advice you don't need. Like, of course you're going to get a P.O. box when you're on the road. Got one. Oh, okay. We're gypsies. I should have known that.
Look, I've known that before. So is things. The kids, not so much. They've followed us in caravan across the country, but they haven't exactly been over. But
You do it enough, you don't want anything. My espresso machine, the cats, my drums, my underwear, pair of jeans, maybe a shirt. You do it enough, you don't want anything. It's like, oh, I get to carry it, I get to dust it, I get to clean it, I get to put batteries in it. Oh,
it really taught things and I what we do need, what we don't need.
sure.
The things we do need in our life.
Each other.
A way to watch a DVD.
Okay. Cheaper every day.
A comfortable bedding situation.
Mm-hmm.
Each other. Decent meals at least 5 days a week.
Good enough.
But yeah, we learned pretty quick what we do need, what we don't need while we were on the road.
Sure.
We spent 16 months traveling the country, and
I remember.
most of that time we were having a blast. Now, there was the time in Georgia where everybody and their brother was on the edge of their seats because nobody knew where we were. We were stuck in the middle of the forest fire. That was fun. We managed to clear our campsite that night, according to the forest ranger reports, about an hour and a half before the fire consumed where we were camping.
Wow.
And it was just through the grace of somebody reaching out and saying, "Hey, I need to get y'all back on the road because y'all are doing an important thing."
You're in harm's way.
And we were in harm's way. So,
And your sense will tell you, too, when it's time to move on. Like with that last place we were. Aside from the fact that they were.
yeah, well, we've all had that inkling that it was time to give up this pretense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because this has been a pretense. Everybody that knows us knows that trying to mesh into a city just doesn't work with anybody in our group.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all naturists. We want to be out in nature. We want to have stars overhead at night. We want to smell nature. We want to hear nature. We want to feel nature.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to do that inner city.
In cement.
Yeah.
Cement. Oh, by the way, we barely lived through the booze cruise last weekend. As you know, it's supposed to be Saturday from something like, I don't know, noon to midnight. I should know this because I helped start it, but my apologies. We had drunks here for a solid week. It kind of peaked at 11 o'clock on Saturday night when they closed down Woodward and then sent everybody past my house. Thanks a bunch, guys. I just love screeching tires. And I told Lisa, I said, okay, take some doggy downs because if you're not asleep by 2 o'clock when the bars close, Lottie, Lottie. Well, that's what it was. It was a mess. They're still blazing by today, ruining their tires. Tires are pricey. So the best part was the city last year. City of Royal Oak decided what they needed to do for the cameras, certainly not for the people, was to blacktop an area. And so they blacktopped from Catalpa, which is like 11.5 mile, all the way back to 11 mile. Now, on the route is a place called Dugan's Irish Pub. It's one of those places where they give you a thing of peanuts and you throw the shells on the floor. Are you with me? Yeah. And the bar stools are
phased out in the early 90s.
No, not here. And everybody's Irish. And the bar stools are so cheap. They snag your clothing. So it's like, here's where you really want to go to impress somebody. They decided last year, that it'd be really cute and adorable if they would set fire to the damn tires. So in one night, they went through God knows how many thousands of dollars that had the street closed for a couple of months and get to do it all over again. Whoopee hoo. Ask me why I hate the booze cruise. Because drunks shouldn't drive.
No, they shouldn't.
People excuse them when they're in their cups. In truth, it may take away your common sense. It makes you more of what you are.
I was a founding member of the second Students Against Drunk Driving chapter in North Carolina. Because of somebody that just had to stop at the bar on the way home, have a few rounds with friends, and get back behind the wheel and continue the route home. No, I don't agree with drunk driving.
It's a selfish waste of human life. And the thing is, most times, it's not the drunk that gets hurt. It's the nice, sober people going to church. Swampy says, make your own spike strips. Swampy, I want spike strips. I really do. But I would be sorely tempted to use them on the neighborhood children's toys. Now, here's the thing. Kids in this neighborhood.
From cheaper than dirt.
Kids in this neighborhood have parents who, by their actions, judge me later, think that if you buy your child some kind of mechanical toy, most of which costs $500 each. One has a Jeep, one has a Barbie convertible, the other one has a Flintstone thing that makes terrible noises. One is like a windsurfer that sounds like a freaking car alarm. When the kids aren't busy setting off mommy's car alarm because she's too drunk to know the difference. Calm, center calm. These kids are out till 11 o'clock at night. These are babies. They're like 3 and 4. 11 o'clock at night. Parents already drunk. Mom wakes up drunk. This is the one that fell over a leaf of grass. Okay? So don't you separate her from her sippy cup. Don't think about it. And this is a very busy street off another busier street. And these kids are just sailing around like nothing. Burning wheelies in the neighbor's lawn. Oh, my God. So, yeah, we made it through the booze cruise, but spike strips, that would be fun. Just roll them out, sit back, watch. Sip a tea and watch. Yes. Although, hopefully, no one in Metro Detroit had any car trouble Saturday because, in their infinite wisdom, AAA decided to put all of their road rescue vehicles on Woodward for the drunks.
Yeah.
So they got all these service trucks and all these little corner stations and call-ins for the drunks. When the people who live here and are trying to go to work could probably use that help. I couldn't go to work because I couldn't get across Woodward.
It's amazing the things that they have tolerated in our society.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Europe, as have you. I'm not saying there aren't drunks in Europe, but the culture there is so much different that mean, you have a glass of water down the line with dinner. Why not?
Hmm.
Because the water is
Questionable.
goop. So they've grown up from the age of 16, learning how to be responsible with what they drink.
Exactly.
Um, Here it was against the law. It was illegal. It was. I mean, they still have dry counties all over the country
Sure. Mostly in the South.
where you cannot buy alcohol. Um,
So you go to the next city over. I mean, this is,
yeah.
come on.
So look. What we did was we jumped across the border into Tennessee
Oh,
because
yeah.
the beer was stronger there anyway. And usually we'd drink our fill and bring 6 or 7 cases back across the border.
Perfect.
Yeah, because everybody wanted some good beer. So, they've done such craziness. They do have great public transportation in Europe. Not so much here.
Oh, my God. Almost nothing. The metro in Paris smells like bad. Uh,
Well, everything smells like you're in Paris.
uh, Not everything.
Oh,
Uh, but
just clean it up right before you get there. Yeah, everything.
can't think of the name of it. The public transit system in London is brilliant, and they have serious maps. You want to go here, you get off at that stop. It's clean, it's orderly. The metro is just
Oh no, you can dial into Plot My Metro, and they will email you a map that tells
Mhm.
you what stops you need to change trains at, what platforms you need to be on at which time to catch your train to get to where
Mhm.
you need to be. I mean, it's great in London. Uh, they have the same kind of consistency in Paris, but everything stunk. Everything.
Quite a few. Well,
Well, I
yeah.
was there in the rainy season also.
Oh, London's always a rainy season.
But Paris, I was in Paris during their rainy season. I guess the Seine is so many parts per million, not water anymore. That anytime rain hits it, it just makes an odor.
It's like the primal soup that comes up in the streets in New Orleans,
At least they're
which is
trying.
why I've yet to go back.
At least they're trying to clean up the Thames.
Mm. Considering it was a sewer for centuries,
Yeah.
that's a challenge. Because I
Well,
watched, there's a
the Seine
wonderful
as well.
program on Taboo. It's on Hulu now called Taboo. And it's Tom Hardy, of course. Wonderful supporting cast, really good writing, incredible costumes. It's real. It's not like where you watch a western and you can see that the plywood is new. It works. It actually works. But even then, well, especially then, the Thames was a sewer, and they'd show these people jumping in the Thames, and I'd think that's a septic field they're jumping into.
Oh, I got invited to one of the swimming beaches downriver, down the Seine,
Mhm.
and they said it's okay if you've had your vaccinations. I'm like,
Have
oh,
you had foot and mouth, dysentery?
okay, what's in the water that you have to be vaccinated to swim in it? But yeah, dysentery, traces of smallpox,
Yummy.
all kinds of stuff.
Typhoid.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Let's not forget typhoid. Typhoid of the typhoid blankets. Consider this. Oh, darn, I missed a break. Oh, well, life in the big city. This is the hardest time to be alive, but it's also the greatest honor to be here now. We're allowed to see this time and process it. There's no other time like now. We should be thankful to the great Creator Spirit that He didn't make weak spirits to live during this time. The old ones say this is the time when the strongest spirits will live through, and those who are empty shells, those who've lost connection, will not survive. We become masters of survival. We will survive. It is our prophecy to do so. Humanity must shift from living on the earth to living with her. Don't you think? It's time. It's time. And it's the Aries moon, so there's an energy and an essence that says whatever you need to do, you're going to move it to the top of the list. Ideally, it has something to do with wellness, but the things that really need to be done have to be prioritized and accepted that you will do the best you can today, and tomorrow's another day. Isn't it wonderful? So you don't have to go to bed thinking about all those things you haven't done yet. Mercury and Virgo is one of those cycles that will really keep you awake at night, thinking too much. And because it opposes Pisces, thinking about stupid shit. Like, what was mine today? I don't remember. Was that stupid? Was that stupid? I thought, what a stupid thought to have. It's go away, stupid thought, because you'll bring in more stupid thoughts, and then I'll just be, duh. I know, my brain is fried. I've been doing yard work in 97 damn degrees, and it is so humid. How humid is it, L. Newman? The carpets are moist. Like, moist.
Goodness.
I know.
At least we don't have that to contend with here.
We got 6 more days of this with maybe some rain. I wish they'd make their mind up. I think they have like maybe it's a dartboard or roulette wheel. Here's today's weather. Live with it. Love it. It was a time the man that wrote the Old Farmer's Almanac, trying to get something done, always under a deadline. And somebody asked him for the 4th or 5th time, is it going to snow in August? And he's in like Virginia. And he's, yes, 4 inches. So they printed it. Do you know it snowed 4 inches in Virginia? How many people? Oh my God, snow! Power suggestion is magical thing. Magical.
Somebody asked me the other day why we weren't planning to go ahead and start building now. It's like, well,
now
we're at 9,743 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It snowed last week.
Mm-hmm.
Takes money, so we have to make.
I was going to say funds. Funds might be an issue.
Yeah, but no, we anticipated the short building season by going ahead and planning not to take advantage of it this year.
Yeah. And doesn't it make more sense to do it when you have the resources? I mean, come on.
Yeah, we have to do some fund building for
You have to tweak your plans is what you have to do.
Yeah.
What's the most important? What's the least important? Priorities.
My knuckle when I was packing.
But this Aries moon gives you the strength to start again. You know, it's like small children. If they fall down, unless they're the brats from across the street who they get rewarded just for showing up. This is going to damage them. It already is. Gives you the energy to just wipe away all the old plans and start again. And when you wipe away the old plans and start the new ones, you'll discover some of the old ones didn't really have a purpose. Capricorn. They didn't make common sense. Capricorn. You might have been doing it for somebody else. You might have been doing it because it seemed like a good day at the time. You might have been trying to impress somebody. Whatever. It's not necessary. And it's wonderful to have that sense that I can make my life complete and I can still do the really important things I need to do, but I'm not going to make myself sick.
Sorry.
Shared a video. What? Pornhub?
I was trying to send that to Linda Castellano.
Why don't you? She's probably listening. So if you were to verbalize.
No.
What?
I think she lost us today.
Okay. Life does it. Sometimes the signal drops. Plop, 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 plop. So yeah, Mars, Mercury, and Virgo. It's good to have the resource material. It's good to have the research. It's also good not to leap into anything right now because Mars is an antsy son of a gun. Venus opposing the moon. Moon Lodge, everybody. I'm for mac and cheese. Although last night on Hell's Half Acre, Hell's Kitchen, they were making, this is such a waste of good food. I itch when I see it. Lobster mac and cheese. Why in the holy Ned would you put lobster, succulent cheese love, into crappy white flour and cheap cheese? Riddle me that. And it'll cost you a lobster to do it. It's like, why
Yeah,
not?
to me that makes about as much sense as tuna mac and chili mac and
Oh yeah,
all of those other macs that I don't eat.
hamburger mech things, and they all look like dog food. I don't care what you put in them. They look like dog food. Woof.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in memory of Lady, I should make some dog food, but
Nah.
if my bite were better, I'd go for a chew toy.
my one gripe with the Marine Corps was the Air Force always fed me better.
Aw,
They fed us tuna mac, chili mac, cheesy mac, and stroganoff mac, and
oh, 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 oh,
every kind,
oh.
every kind of flavor of ground beef and macaroni that you can imagine.
Sounds like the stuff they shovel up at Bourbon Street at 5 o'clock in the morning. Same consistency.
Yeah,
My daddy used to bring home C rations, K rations, rations.
sea rats.
Okay, and they were good. They had like crackers and jelly. They had fun foods in them. So I really enjoyed those back in the day.
Yeah, they evolved into something else, even though it was supposedly better for us.
MRIs,
MREs.
whatever.
Um,
MRIs will make you want an MRI.
you might need one after a few
I'm
because
thinking.
there's something about eating rehydrated, dehydrated food that just
No. No.
rats. Most of your food wasn't dehydrated;
Mm.
it was just condensed.
Kind of scary. It's like when I was in the drugstore the other day, they were selling 0-calorie water with no carbs. It's a bottle. Okay, water doesn't have calories. Water doesn't have carbs.
And they would put flavors like chicken a la king in your MRE. And
Flavors ish.
most of the time you eat MREs cold.
Oh no.
Uh,
I suppose if you're in a hot location.
Swedish meatballs with dehydrated, reconstituted mashed potatoes.
No.
Yeah.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
That was actually one of the better ones. Of course,
I mean, if you're in a really hot place, cold food makes sense. I made a bunch of sticky rice this week, which is just, it's brown rice cooked in coconut milk. Hello, it's a delicacy. And today I'm kind of leaning toward egg salad, but too hot. Don't even want to boil water in that little kitchen, even with the fan going on exhaust, because too hot. Too hot. Egg salad some other time. It will keep. This too shall pass.
that's something that we do eat frequently.
Good stuff. It's a very good protein source.
We got a little crazy a few years back. We don't mix it the way we did when I was growing up anymore.
Well,
But a good spicy Dijon or a stone ground brown
mhm.
to make your egg salad with just adds a little
Take a bite.
yeah.
Makes it more savory than sweet.
Yeah.
As you know, we just finished up a big bad blue moon. Yeah. All the treks on all the lawns in Royal Oak can prove that. So in honor of this full moon, this blue moon, let us consider it's time to release that which is not yours. It's time to release all the obstacles that are in your path. It's time to release limiting belief systems. It's time to release fears and doubts. To freely release the relationships that are no longer serving any higher purpose. It's time to release attachments to the outcome. God only knows what the outcome is supposed to be. It's time to release externalized desire. It's time to release pain and suffering as a means of healing and personal growth. It's time to release all that which is no longer useful or in alignment with your higher self and for your highest good. Amen. Amen. Yeah. Let it go. Let that stuff go. Gone. Done. Poke me with a fork. Done with it. Done with it. You helped me a couple weeks ago when you said, the douche across the street. with this, never mind, is more than likely always going to be a douche. Expecting him to be anything other than a douche sets the bar far too high.
Well, you're making expectations for him to tell you.
Yeah, and he's just being him. You know, it's the scorpion and the crocodile going across the river. They almost get to the bank, and
As,
scorpion.
as a minister, when you went through Kabbalah training,
Yeah.
you learned the hazards of expectations.
Oh, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. But the
as a witch, coming up under your mother's not so gentle tutelage,
the
you also learn the hazards of making expectations.
broom and the willow switch.
Yeah. Um, a lot of people don't have the luxury of learning the way we did what expectations could cost us.
Hmm.
So they set those expectations, they hope for the best. And
Exactly.
look, they made their agenda with the creator when they sat down before they entered the arena. It's not on us to correct or alter their course.
Mm.
If exposure to us changes them, brings them to a new level of awareness,
So
that was
good.
the game plan all along. If exposure to us doesn't do anything but make them party harder, let them have it, because the creator and them made a game plan where they're not going to be around that long, and they have to do all the damage they can up front.
Hmm.
Um, it's sad to
And the
see.
point you made for me was the acceptance. That's my zen.
Yeah,
If he does grow up, which is negligible, if he does grow up, happy times. If he doesn't, he's not my problem.
yeah.
He's not my irritant. He's, you know what? He's disappointment in what a parent and a human being should be.
Well,
And I hope, on one hand, I want him to grow up. On the other hand, I think if he could see it all in one fell swoop, it would crush him
yeah,
because his wife pays the bills. Her parents gave him the money for the house. He brags about not working. He ignores his children. I told you he sat the baby in a baby carriage and the kid rolled down the street and into traffic before he noticed.
see
And
that.
that's just because the neighbor sat her beer down and said, "Hey, you might want to get your kid."
Yeah. People like that. If we cling to their drama,
Hmm.
we've messed our zen up so bad that it can take years to find center.
It's not coming back.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So we let those go about their way, and I offer up a prayer. I'm going to be honest. I offer up a prayer that those that I leave by the wayside find their way back honestly,
Absolutely.
um, because the road that I travel, you know, it's not for everybody, but at the same time, it is. It's just in the learning of what that road means.
Exactly.
Uh, a lot of people look at me and go, good red road. What are you talking about? It's a way of life. It's a way of paying forward the kindnesses and the niceties. It's a way of repairing the damages done. It's a way of honoring the ancestors and honoring those that will follow after me. Um,
Exactly.
yeah,
And it's a wonderful form of acceptance. People are going to be what they choose to be. Now, I'm really blessed considering my funky genetic pool and what I'm married. My girls turned out so well. They are both incredibly empowered, beautiful, spiritual individuals. My eldest just found her magic about a year ago. And I mean, hello, wall to wall bookcases.
right.
So the first thing I did was I told her to get the Raymond Buckland Big Blue Book of Magic. He
Yep.
wrote the book. He is the book, and I'm blessed to have been his friend briefly. And then I said, "Hello, thousands of books. Help yourself." And so she went through and picked out a few, and I got her a copy of the Pagan Book of Rituals for the moons and whatnot. And she's keeping her own magic, and it's wonderful. And she's 2 pounds. I'm sorry to get there sooner. I said, "Honey, you had to find your time. It's not up to me. It's not my right." As long as you're being good with yourself and being a spiritual person, it doesn't really matter what form it takes.
Now, all those hereditary types try to bring them up in just so a fashion. And they give them their first altar cloth and their athame with their first moon blood.
Thank you for saying it right.
Um,
If I hear one more person say a theme, I will theme them. Personally, I will take a front and I will theme them because I can.
but yeah, they're ritually given all these things at their first moon blood. Which that's really scary because now that can happen as early as 8.
Mm.
It used to be around the age of 13 when young girls were beginning to learn true responsibility, and young boys were past that initial surge of testosterone-driven angst. So they treated them equally. The boys and the girls were
Oh, sure. Ain't no difference.
all given the same appropriate gifts, and they were taught about tithing to the Creator, tithing to the Mother we walk on. Rites of passage, if you will. The people that come to their gifts late in life, they miss out on those rites of passage, sort of.
True.
But those of us that sit back and watch them sprout into their beauty, their glory, often tend to shower them with those same gifts that their parents should have given them at first moon blood.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way the community is supposed to be. We're supposed to nurture each other and help each other learn to walk in a harmonious fashion, and so much of that's been lost.
Yep. And these children of privilege who are too spoiled to know it, who chances are slim they're going to live up to all the toys they have now, when what they need is discipline and direction. But that's not my job, thank God, because there's like 10 of them now. Oh, hell no. I got tithed. I'm available. I'm here. I do palmistry for newborns' hands because I can read the lines and the fingerprints when the child first born. But as far as raising somebody else's kid, no, not my job. We had so many miscreants, so many troubled children come into karate because the parents couldn't discipline them. And I'm trying to tell the parents, it's self-discipline. Okay, this is a system that will teach them self-discipline. And I mean, some of these kids, we had to paint the big toenail on the right foot red. So if you start the kata off on your right foot, look at your toenail. Okay, that's right. Well, you're in the mirror. It's backwards. That's because I'm in the mirror. Never mind. We had one woman who was so stupid. How stupid was she? That she brought her little pinheaded children, they were like 8, to karate. She cut their belts in half because it wrapped around twice. Yeah.
They're supposed to be.
Well, you're not a black belt yet, kiddo. We can get you another belt. Yeah.
Right. It's exasperating.
Mm-hmm.
Because this country has allowed a certain mindset to be pretty much pervasive across the board. If you're not wasp, I don't have to pay attention to you.
Exactly.
If you're not Italian Catholic, nothing you says matter.
No, you're going to hell. Give it up. Might as well have fun. You're going to hell.
If you're not an upright Buddhist monk with a bald head, you better not talk to me about Buddhism or the way of Zen.
They're not celibate, That's that smile.
They're not all bald either.
Yeah, true. We used to meet with the Taoist monks of Drepung Lhasa. They're in the movie 7 Years in Tibet. They were sponsored by Richard Gere. Brilliant people. And every time they came to town or Ohio, and you know how I feel about Ohio, we'd go there and I'd take them big baskets of fruit goodies because, why not? And they always traveled with an equally large group of beautiful, nubile young women. And a friend of mine says, they're not celibate. Oh my God. Wow. And I hugged that guy.
I'm sitting in a lounge, and there are several affluent people in the lounge, and I'm listening to the previous Dolly because we had a thing, and he liked to converse with me because I could actually understand him in numerous languages.
Sure.
But sitting there listening, and this young, I mean, she must have been 18, 19, obviously ethnic Tibetan,
A baby.
very obviously ethnic Tibetan. She walked in, she made her obeisance to everybody, and then she walked around behind the dolly and she started rubbing his neck. The next thing you know, she was rubbing down inside the front of his.
Mmm. Really?
uh,
Touch the man there.
she had gotten lonely in their chambers and decided that he needed to come to bed.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, I think he was 104.
Go. Go, dude. Just go. You have to wonder about a society where men will take little blue pills knowing it might kill them. But with that, something important. AIM is not an organization. As its name implies, it's a movement. Within that movement, organizations will come and go. No one person or organization runs AIM. Don't confuse it with any particular individual, even though they may march under its banner. AIM is the people. AIM will be here when every one of us living today is gone. AIM will raise new leaders in every generation. Crazy Horse belonged to AIM. Sitting Bull belonged to AIM. They belong to us still, and we belong to them. There are no followers in AIM. We are still leaders. We all are each an army of one, working for the survival of our rights as a people and for our blessed Mother Earth. This isn't rhetoric. This is commitment. This is who we are in AIM. In the spirit of Crazy Horse, Leonard Peltier. Leonard Peltier is a blessing. He's not doing well health wise. He's been in prison for decades for being a Native American. Basically, there's no point going into the whole long story because it's why. 30? Okay. You can write to him at 89637 132 Coleman, USP Coleman, P.O. Box 1033, Coleman, Florida, 33521. Write to him, get his t shirts, see his artwork, read his stories, his books, and give thanks that we still have this one amazing wisdom keeper among us to keep our spirits afloat. Thank you, Leonard. I love you so much.
Speaking of our wisdom keepers among us, I've the last 2 weeks that some of our esteemed wisdom keepers are being um,
Huh.
joining the ancestors, as it were.
Can you crank your volume just a little bit? 'Cause that was like wobbling. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Testing, testing. 3, 2, 1. Good. Very good. Very good.
And now I got crackle.
Oh, that's good.
Crackle.
You were saying? Crackle's what my knees do, don't yours?
Yeah.
Crackle. I used to
Crackle
not
pop.
be. I used to not be a percussion instrument. Now somehow I am.
You played enough percussion instruments to become one.
I become yes. We've morphed. The drum and I are one.
No,
The drum and I are one, not two. I'm the light that she shines through.
well, a month before last, we lost an honored grandmother up in Standing Rock.
Hmm.
Then we lost Mr. Crow Dog.
Yeah, Leonard Crow Dog. Sad.
Now, one of the Navajo elders has passed into the Summerlands.
Hmm.
And Art Messigawe.
Okay.
He was a national treasure in Canada. He literally, but he passed away also.
Wow.
We've been lighting candles for the elders, and I'm ready for the return. I'm with the kind of elders that are checking out.
They're gonna recycle.
Yeah, they're checking out to come back. They have big things to do. I suppose I suppose.
Even when they don't, think of the early days of AIDS and all the creative genius that we lost: dancers, singers,
Yeah.
musicians, authors, performers. Um, Consider all of that creative energy that's just on the other side of the veil. And provided your intention is pure, it's a hook, but hey, it's really the best way to live. Provided your intentions are pure, you can connect with that higher genius
Oh yeah.
and create channeled materials. There's a woman that wrote a book called, once again, Through the Mist of Avalon, Mist of Avalon, Marion Zimmer Bradley. And when you read it, it's channeled material. It's the fastest 700 and some pages I've ever read in my life. And I've read it maybe 3 or 4 times now.
I had a problem reading it.
Then she wrote a book called Firebrand. I can't even begin to tell you. Might have been about Joan of Arc, Cleopatra. I don't know. Because it sucked. And I thought, you know what happened? That first one was Mercury, Neptune, and pure spirit inspired, which is why it resonated so much with me and everybody else and became a major hit. You know? Second one, she had a deadline to write up against. I had that happen this week. I was like, oh, I don't want to write. I don't want to do my homework. I have to do my homework. Don't want to do my homework. I have to do it. So I ran the chart, and that got me off my behind. Provided the fan was running, because otherwise I'm panting like a schnoodle.
Right.
And I wrote them, and I write them, I publish them. You'll see them tonight at 8:15 at the astralbaglady.net. And that's where Joanne can contact me if she's ready to have those questions answered. I'll be more than glad to give her a session, a freebie, whatever she needs. Yeah, freebie, because her daughter just died.
Thank you. I will pass that along.
Yes, soon as I wrote them, I read them briefly, mostly spell check, because spell check lies, don't you know? Mostly spell check. And I went, that's damn good, because you know what I did? I got out of my way. And any form of creativity, you know, as an artist, any form of creativity, you got to get out of your way. Got to. Because if you stay in your way, this Virgo stuff's going to kick in. And I can't tell you how many books I've thrown away. You're going to throw away anything you make and anything you do because it's not perfect yet.
I had some rather angry people question why I sat and arted all week last week while my family was up in arms and all a tither. I said, somebody's got to make headway.
Excuse me. What makes it their damn business?
Some people have decided that I just don't do anything.
Okay.
You know, they don't see the hours that I spend counseling people that want to end their lives needlessly. They don't see the hours that I spent counseling the young pagan that's awakened into their gifts and really overwhelmed by empathy.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a young lady coming this weekend for a cane body removal. I don't charge a dime for that. Because that's helping somebody move out of a place of trauma.
Exactly.
Okay. We charge for other services we render, but that is purely a spiritual endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't charge for spiritual work.
You can't.
The Creator let me. Now, you know, people can leave love offerings when I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can buy a piece of jewelry if they feel so inclined. And usually people will pick up something on the way out and be
Sure.
like, I think I need to have this with me. And I'm good with that, you know. Swampy, I came out of the Marine Corps with that attitude. And that attitude got me smacked by the elders. I spent 3 years in the wilderness trying to find me. And in finding me, I figured out that I can unfuck them better than I can fuck them.
Well, in the words of George Carlin, my guru, fuck is nice. Okay? No such thing as bad pizza or bad sex. However, when people are caca, unfuck them. Okay? Yeah. Unfuck them. It's like the phrase in the Golden Dawn, it matters not. You take all the matter away, all the caring, all the stress away from that particular point. Well, vis-a-vis the douche. Take all that away, and all you have left is peace. That's where to go.
Well, I have one thing in my corner that a lot of people don't expect.
Which is,
I can be that mirror.
yeah.
I can show you the absolute horror that you are really quick.
All the while reinforcing the fact that there is grace.
Yeah.
If you really truly make amends, one of the things you're going to see a lot this week with the Moon Pluto aspects, people getting caught in lies and people doing half apologies. I'm sorry you feel that way. Not I'm sorry because I lied to you. Sorry you feel that way. When I was a kid, as you know, my sister and I got along like, yeah, right. My mother was big on beatings, but eventually she got tired of that. You know, the back goes out. It's not fun. I won't. You can beat me to a pulp. I'm not going to call Child Protective Service. I don't care that much. This is you being Bernice. So she notched it up to a really nauseating level, which was, do that again, you're going to have to kiss your sister. Oh, hell no. Not with your lips, okay? Ain't happening. No. So you may get some kiss your sister apologies. You may get critiqued undeservedly. It's all this Virgo energy, boys and girls. And when you get critiqued, listen carefully, because what this other person is telling you is their dissatisfaction. They want you to be a miserable pile of poo just like them. And so they're going to list everything you've done wrong and how you can do it better. And make it probably while you're working. I get that a lot. Desiree Lipshire.
If I can find grace, acceptance, and forgiveness in the Creator's hand, anybody can.
It's not up to us anyway.
Right.
Not up to us.
The Creator looked at me when I was moaning and groaning about all the bad things that I've done, and she said, look at all the good things you've done to counter that. Look at all of the charity that you have bestowed upon people. So yeah, there's grace even after bad.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, all of the angels have had their grace returned, and if the angels that fell by choice can find grace, then so can I.
Mm-hmm. Exactamo. And if you get one of those kiss your sister apologies, take away the ugly visual of me kissing Audrey Edna. Audrey Edna. That's like a name of a 50-year-old woman. Okay. And she was just that dull. Oh, that's great gardener. Everything else, no.
You ended up with a peach of a name compared to your sister.
Linda Melanie Bridget. Yeah. Linda Melanie Bridget. Sarah, actually. Is the name wonder I turned out to be L. Newman? It was like, this is really enough. Thank you. Someone should critique your hair, your face, your life, your verbiage, whatever it might be. Just take it as friendly advice, free of charge. If you yourself are not self-critical, you won't let it sink in.
I invite all of those that take away from me to walk a mile in my shoes.
Yep. Walk a mile in my crewless shoes, bucko. Let's see how you like that.
Walk a mile in these Crocs.
Oh, golly. A student goes to the teacher and says, can I borrow a pencil? Teacher says, I don't know. Can you? Student says, yes, I might add that colloquial regularities occur frequently in any language. Since you and the rest of our present company understood perfectly my intended meaning, being particular about the distinctions between can and may is purely pedantic and arguably pretentious.
Hey, that's
the kind of kid I was. That's the kind of kid I was. That's why I quit teaching the Course in Miracles. Because, well, one, it does have a good basis, but it wasn't written by metaphysicians. And it was one of those where we had a minister like that once. You sit there waiting for him to get to the point. And the point is, and the point is, and get to your point. And I'm falling asleep here. I know I'm going to snore and drool. Get to the point. And then, as I've gone through like 3 years of teaching it, trying to explain to people why this pencil's not a pencil, why this table's not a table. Get past that. They have a quote that says, I'm responsible for peace in this world. Okay. All right. Back up the bus. Have you ever remembered a time when somebody wasn't at war with somebody? Ever? No. Look at what's going on with Taliban right now. More of the same shitola. Okay? I'm responsible for the peace in my universe, right here, okay, in my little meat suit. When I get my little head and my little heart together, and when I have a peaceful path between those 18 inches, I can be an ambassador of peace. And like Tetnahan said, every step you take should be a step in peace. When you take a step in stress and disharmony, you leave that for the person that follows you. Don't do it. Don't go there. It's caca. So yeah, people might be critical. Standards may change. Oh, they will. It's Uranus. But in the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? And you're on the move, which is very. Pardon?
Ain't we got fun?
Yeah, we do. Now we got to pay a royalty.
I had a tooth break last night
Oh no.
while we were sitting at dinner.
Uh-huh.
And everybody's like, oh, what did you do to incur karma? I said, nothing, but everything has a price.
You're probably grinding your teeth. I thought I had a piece of missing yesterday, and my teeth
get to me. It had a price.
My teeth are jacked. So I'm in the bathroom. I've got the little poke thing. I've got the little mirror, the whole nine. I clean my own darn teeth because, yeah. Anyhow, I'm in there. I'm looking. I got my mouth open, got the lights on, the little mag light, the whole 9 yards. It's just like the tooth on the other side. It's just how the damn thing's shaped. Good thing I'm not a dentist. Because I'd be in the back room doing the laughing gas. I'd be, nitrous, my friend, I love you. Ha 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 ha.
A funny story about nitrous.
Mm.
Me and my little brother were setting up a car for the straight track, and we had lucked into a nitrous setup for the car that we were setting up for the straight track.
Mm-hmm.
Only both of us were novices as far as this was concerned. So some of the tubing might have either gotten crimped or pinched.
Mm.
So when you engage the nitrous system, instead of the car getting a boost, you got the laughs.
Not so bad.
Look, we spent $2,000 to go to the track before we figured out that we weren't going to win anything except for a case of the giggles.
What's wrong with that? I highly encourage it, especially when you're stressed. It is a great.
Hey, look, it doesn't matter if you lose if you're laughing so hard that you can't see the track anyway.
And life shouldn't be so competitive. It's like this weekend. God is my witness. I don't ever want again to see a fat, bald man with a ponytail growing out of I don't know where and a sunburned head driving a convertible like he's all that. Okay? Never. And always in a Hawaiian shirt. If there's anything going to make a fat person look good, it's a Hawaiian shirt. Okay?
Shh, don't pick on my Hawaiian shirt.
Swampy says it's like being on the deadline. Yeah, you got that right, sugar. We love Swampy. If it were not for Swampy and my brother Spirit, we would not be on the air right now. I'd still be going, I don't know, what do you think?
We're on the deadlock for a minute.
And Heather with telling me about Anchor FM. Isn't that funny? It's like when everything's ready, it just lines up for you. And you hear it, confirmation, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then it's a go for it. It's that
we had
green light.
8 different people mention Anchor to us.
Mm-hmm.
And
best platform ever.
Yeah. And StreamYard. StreamYard is amazing because I can stream live to, if I up my product purchase, I can stream live to another 3 live platforms. But I don't think I need to stream but to 3 live platforms, do I?
We're okay for now. You got your whatchamacallit thingamajig coming tomorrow from Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. You got your warranty papers in the mail this morning, even though I sent them last night. Don't care. You got them. That's what matters.
Just
life is good.
My phone. Look, I laid down to rest earlier because I planned to drive for a few hours tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I laid down, Aunt Charlie called.
Of course.
And I'm like, the last person I expect to call and say, hey, let me send you some money.
Aw.
because Aunt Charlie she still has to drive 35 miles to fill a cistern with water
Hmm.
so she can have water on her mountaintop
Wow.
because she paid a guy 5 years ago to come out and run water lines for her, and he still hadn't got it done.
He's the guy supposed to clean my gutter. I told you about the tree. I got a 3-foot tree growing in my gutter. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Look, if you're that desperate that you have to go out and take advantage of
Anybody.
anybody, just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't. And especially if it's somebody like Aunt Charlie or Dr. L, because they are just salt of the earth, two nice people. Yeah, the podcast is on Spotify. It's also on Anchor. It's on Breaker. It's
YouTube.
Google Podcast. You can watch the video after we're done on YouTube for a month.
I think they're keeping them longer than that. I saw
Now
one that was
I
2.
have started saving all of our stuff to our library.
Oh, good.
So what I miss saving is gone. Everything else is there forever.
Not the fart show. That was a fine piece of broadcast.
Yeah,
We're getting the Peabody Award. I know it. Although ever since I did that report that said healthy Americans, healthy people, will emit flatulence 20 times a day. I'm counting. I've never gotten up to 20. It would probably take Taco Bell to get me there. A lot of beans. Don't want to be. No.
Sorry, I'm eating an Altoid. We had...
With your bad tooth.
Yeah, with my bad tooth.
Go on with your bad tooth.
Somebody gifted us with a flat of Bush's pinto beans.
Oh, my.
A couple of weeks ago. And because we're being ethical, we're trying to use everything we can before we move. So we had a week of pintos last week.
Oh, my God. Oh, jeez. That's deadly.
Sweetie's
No
like,
open flame.
I'm like, it's okay.
How many
Rory's
bathrooms y'all got?
Huh?
How many
What?
bathrooms y'all got?
2.
Oh, man. And
They
5
were quite
people.
difficult last week.
Oh, my goodness. Whoa. Makes you want to put a portage on the back porch. Here's the thing. The city, our fair city of...
I want to be out in the country.
Yeah, safer that way. In fact, when I went for my first medicine walk on Spirit Mountain...
I bet you were rocking the Febreze.
Oh, yeah. Everybody there... Well, first of all, they didn't know what a medicine walk was, so... Never mind. But Bob, who works on the railroad, said, if you really want to get to see nature, you got to smell. And I went, what? Well, you could buy some deer piss. No, thanks. No. Well, if you smell like nature, they'll get closer to you. And the only ones that got closer to me were the rattlesnakes, because they knew that
there's an easier way to accomplish that than doe urine.
Which is?
You know what lichen are?
Yeah.
Go find you a nice clump of lichen and crumble them in your hands. Kind of dust yourself.
Pretty.
Yeah. A whole lot less offensive than the doe urine.
Yeah.
And just as effective as covering up human sin. But the real problem with seeing nature when you're out walking in nature, trying to see nature, is you're trying too hard.
Exactly. That's what Eagle Smith taught me. He said you have to know the shape of a fawn's cheek. You have to know how they move. You have to know how they bob their tails. If you'll do that, 1, shut up, and 2, sit there, don't move, no sudden movements, and then just open your heart and accept. And it was like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella. I mean, critters are coming to me. It was wonderful. Wonderful.
My Aikido instructor had a slightly different approach. It was her way of teaching me Zen. Go out into the woods and be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Find your Zen spot while you're sitting in the.
Come back. Come back. We lost you.
That's the RV calling.
Mm.
I had to message her that I would call her right back.
Yeah.
But anyway, go out and sit down in nature and find your Zen spot. And the nature around you and finding that you're at Zen with yourself will come and be around you. Sings and I have sat down in our campsites and had cougars decide that we were so chill that they could chill with us.
Mm-hmm.
We had a bear come and investigate camp one night. He didn't bother anything. He just fluffled around the camp and went on about his business. We had a coyote come and investigate my fire pit one night. And he wanted to make sure I knew he came because he didn't leave any footprints. He left a pile.
There you go.
Right beside the fire pit.
He was so happy he just.
He left a pile. He was happy.
I was in the Bear Paw Mountains at Glacier National Park in Montana, Big Sky Country. And I was just it was beautiful. And of course, they're so dumb. They sell the world's best chocolate. They sell Montana huckleberry chocolate. They also sell body spray and a body oil to make you smell like a huckleberry. Well, huckleberries are one of a bear's favorite food. And so I'm sitting there in the Jeep just soaking up the sun, listening to Robbie Robertson's Red Road Ensemble. And this couple pulls up and they're in this tricked out SUV, Eddie Bauer SUV. And they pull out a blanket and they pull out their picnic basket and they get their cooler and they pour their wine and they're sipping their wine and they lay out trays of ham and turkey and chicken and cheese and food. On the other side of the lake, which wasn't that far, there's a bear standing on one foot sniffing the air. And I turned to these lovely people and I said, well, here's the thing. I'm going to be leaving now. Why? Because I can't run over 30 miles an hour and that bear's coming here for lunch. So I'm not going to be between him and his lunch. I recommend you don't either. And they were like, oh. And they were gone. And the bear had a heck of a meal. I mean, crusty bread.
I was sitting on a ridgeline one day on one of mine and Sing's favorite mountains, Cypress.
Mm-hmm.
She had a headache and needed to take a nap. So, I left her in camp, but let her nap. I'm sitting on a ridgeline. And I had just talked to a guy that passed camp on the road like half an hour before. So I'm walking and enjoying nature and being myself. And I sat down as I'm wont to do when I'm out in nature. And this guy walked past me, very intent hunter. Yeah, I'm hunting a bear. I've seen sign all over this mountain. I know he's here. I'm going to get him today. I know it. I know it. I'm like, okay. If you think that might be what you get. So I'm sitting there. He's moved on. He's been gone about 30 minutes. And here comes Brother Bear following up the guy's back trail. I'm like, yeah, you're really going to get that bear today. Brother Bear walked on by me, paid me no mind. I'm being my Zen self.
Because you didn't smell like huckleberries. That's right.
Why. I got down out of my perch and I walked down to the road and waited for the guy that was down on the road driving up and down looking for his buddy to pass by again. I said, if you've got any way of contacting your buddy, you might want to warn him that the bear that he thinks he's going to get today is about to get him. He said, how so? I said, well, I've been watching and your guy's making a lot of noise, unnecessary noise. He smells like candy. And the bear's on his back trail. A bear on your back trail can only mean one thing.
Bear's tracking you.
He smelled the food in your pocket, and he's coming. Because bears like sweets.
Oh yeah, and the sad thing is, as much as I love them, and you see those specials, documentaries of people that feed the bears. Let me tell you, folks, a fed bear is a dead bear.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a matter of time before somebody's come out with a sawed off and shoot that puppy in two.
Because
So as much as you want to, do not feed a bear. Do not.
Once you feed a bear, you've ruined the bear. You've taught him that there's an easier way to get the food that he craves.
Sure.
And if you don't give him that food, he's going to get angry. Somebody's going to get hurt, and then the bear's going to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Do yourself and the bear a favor. Don't feed the bear. As far as it goes, don't feed any wildlife. You don't know what they're supposed to eat unless you're a research biologist and you've been studying what they eat. Leave it alone.
Exactly.
Because they need to eat what they're supposed to eat, not what we hand them.
Because it works for their system. Consider this. Behold, said Grandmother Moon to Grandfather Skies, a great crystal bowl filled with water in her hands. This is the home of my beloveds. Some will swim, some will fly, some will crawl, some will burrow into blessed Mother Earth. Some will have wings or fins, and they'll be four-leggeds and two-leggeds. I shouldn't say this, but of them all, the two-leggeds are my favorites. For in their celebrations of life, they will chant, sing, dance, and drum. It's the rhythm of that heart song that will keep them ever connected to the great Creator Spirit, the source of all that is, all that was, and all that evermore shall be. We are Mother Peace Drum, and you are as well. We invite you to join us in our prayer for peace in physical or in the light. Every Wednesday night from 9:45 till 10 o'clock, join us in a Mesa Link-Up prayer for peace and healing for the planet. If not now, when? I edited that well, didn't I?
Yep.
Chop, chop, chop. Hit my mark, hit my time.
As my cousin says, coexistence or coextinction, your choice.
Exactly. Expect resistance if you want. Resistance. Yeah. We have to. That's why we fight against the pipelines and denying Native Americans their rights. I just can't. That just doesn't fit in my mind.
5,622 bodies so far.
God bless.
On both sides of the border. And now there is an ongoing investigation in Chihuahua around one of the Catholic schools there.
Big surprise.
Yeah, big surprise. I knew it would be just a matter of moments before they carried the search for the missing further south.
Well, it's like the Butterbox babies, where they brought in women who were having children out of wedlock and used the women to kill the babies.
Yeah.
How's that for religious? And that's just it. All this stuff in Pisces, we're discovering, some to our dismay, the religion isn't necessarily spiritual. It could be, but I'm here to tell you, the very most brilliantly spiritual people I know are my Native American teachers, and they're not going to set foot in church.
Nope.
They know that Earth is church. Earth is sacred. Nope. And you don't need to be sharing up your sins with somebody else, because they'll catch up with you fast enough.
My church is outside with all my relations.
Exactly. Wherever you are, God is. Kind of like Santa, but a lot more benevolent. So it's good. Having just finished this last weekend, the Moon in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, I would ask, if you can, and if you can't, I can help you with that too. What were your dreams like? I had lots of dreams in motion. I had my bends. I was on the road. I had my bends. I was on the road to a job I hated, probably morning drive radio. And so I decided to take the expressway was glutted. So I decided to take a shortcut, right? My shortcut was so good that I got thoroughly lost. And I ended up with there were no roads. There was just a path. And I was following other people on the same path. And somewhere on that path, I came to the determination that I really hated that job. And there was no point in going into it. And then about a day later, I got an offer for a great big heartless corporate gig. Chunk of money. Probably a month's worth of money for a half a day workshop. and I couldn't do it. I gave them referrals to people I knew who were good and people who could use the money in the area, but nah, lots of dreams about. So, do you recall what your dreams were last weekend? Maybe Friday, definitely Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night. Do you recall those dreams? If you don't recall the dreams, what kind of mood were you in when you got up in the morning? Because that will very often tell you the whole entire story. I was excited every time I woke up. I was like, "Oh, this is so cool." Um,
Yeah, we were good with the dreaming until Monday morning.
hmm Yeah.
Monday morning, the blue moon influence, the crazy sideways spiral.
Yeah.
Um, and once they find a way to get hold in a household, they tend to spiral out and consume everybody.
hmm Yeah. It's all
Um,
fixable.
I think yesterday afternoon, at some point, I finally got to the point where I just wasn't anymore.
Mm.
Because I don't
Pisces,
well,
you got to beam up. You got to beam up and out of the mundane world, or you can't see what the heck's going on. And it's respectful
if
and
you
consistent.
spin me out of my Zen spot, and I have a if I have a hard enough time getting back into my Zen spot that I have to call Reverend L.
Was I not there as soon as I got the message? Well,
You were, and blessings, because just a little breathe, relax. You've got this was all we all needed. Um, you know, we've been taught that we have to do it all ourselves. We've been taught that we have to buckle down. We've been taught that we have to tuck into it. We've been taught that to ask for help, to seek guidance is a sign of weakness. But I
No.
was actually taught by my elders that having the forethought to ask for help when I knew that I needed it wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a sign of strength.
Exactly.
It's a strength of character that you have to put pride aside, to put it aside, and ask for help when you need it.
Exactly. That takes strength. And my most devoted clients that I've had for 20 plus years are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn because they're not fantasy oriented people. They're common sense people. And I'm going to tell them the truth. I'm going to give it to them in terms they can understand and tell them how it's going to be different next week, a week from Tuesday, 18 months, 20 years from now. They like that kind of direction. So I may only hear from them once every 6 months or so, but that's sufficient because I know they're staying on the path. And that's important. Right now, think about it. We have five planets in Earth signs. We have the Sun, we have Mars, we have Mercury and Virgo, we have Pluto and Capricorn, we have Uranus and Taurus. That's all creative chaos. So now's the time we can do a lot, but make sure that you've defined your goal correctly, or you may make a left-hand turn. This last Pisces moon was beautiful. Remember, Neptune won't do this again for another 110 years, so deal with it. The influence of Neptune will be the 10-year transit plus 5 years on either side. So this is 20 years of humanity changing itself on a spiritual level. Neptune rules Pisces. It doesn't get better than that. So if you're having troubles with your dreams, remember the minute your feet hit the floor, the dreams are dead. We should do another dream show, palmistry show, numerology. Yeah.
It's time for a dream show. We have a couple of guests that we can bring on for those.
Well, and I do need a William Maltese fix.
Yeah.
Or I'll have to actually get on a plane and fly to Seattle, and trust me, that won't be pretty.
Seattle's not really pretty right now. Anyway.
Seattle's never pretty. It rains all the time. I don't know how he lives. There's a wonderful, brilliant series called The Killing with Joel Kinnaman and Marielle something. And it's shot in Seattle. It's raining every damn day, like London. And it comes down in sheets. I can't imagine living with that. I sent him not one but two of my Verilux lamps so he can get some real sun, because I don't want to see him fade away and turn gray.
I have a little advice for those burgeoning newbies that are dabbling in connecting to that chaotic creative energy that's abounding right now.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're grounded and centered.
The earth plants you have to be.
Make sure you're working from a Zen space, and make sure you're in sacred space when you're working.
Well, that's the imperative. It's a moral, spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, behavioral imperative that you have sacred space. Because once you have created sacred space, it permeates you and it goes with you wherever you are. So if you're in a world filled with fear, which it can be, you're not going to be like the Walking Dead. You're not going to buy into it. You say, I celebrate your choice to be stupid or fearful or a victim. Do what you need to do. I'm not playing. It's the difference between being empathetic and sympathetic. Empaths have the actual physical ability to feel other people's pain. How stupid is that? It's not like life won't give you enough of your own. And pain ideally is what tells you something's out of balance. And that means you go right back into balance and the pain goes bye-bye. Not to mention you square the energy and I give you back twice the pain. I take home twice the pain. Somebody's shooting now. Oh yes, we should. www.foroflikekind for your counseling needs. There's more. Come on, you can do it. Sing out, Marie.
www.spiritwalksfarcreations.com for your metaphysical jewelry needs. If you need a pipe, reach out to Pioneer Pipes.
Yeah. I just glued my rattlesnake pipe back together. It's just so brittle. Poor baby.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and a lot of what's going on in the world today can be considered as quite catastrophic.
Yeah, it's in your perspective.
We weren't prepared for it because we weren't paying attention, because we didn't get the teaching that we actually needed when we were growing. Whatever the reason, whatever the excuse, we still have to deal with what's going on in the world today.
Exactly.
A lot of chaotic, creative energy that's geared towards changing everything around you instead of fighting the change. Tap into the change. Become the change. Become the blessing that you were meant to be.
Okay. Why not?
And it's a thought.
Yep.
Swampy says he's too numb to feel the pain anymore.
Yeah, I'm writing to him. Maybe it's not all bad.
Yeah.
Because when you perpetuate your pain, when you connect to your pain on that kind of level, all you're going to do is bring more people into your life to hurt you, or situations that hurt you, or thoughts that hurt you, or feelings that hurt you. It's what caused the dumbing down of America or humanity, whatever comes first. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud of our country. I'm proud of the freedoms we have. I'm incredibly appreciative of the servicemen and women who let us live our happy little lives, possibly at the price of their own. But more so than that, it's like a machine. It's a big, healthy machine that says we all have the same opportunities. You got to make an effort, okay? You're not going to hit the lotto. I wouldn't recommend marrying for money. My sister did that. It didn't work real well. But if you put your back into it and you put your mind to it and you keep your faith, and your faith is bigger than your fear, you're going to succeed. Right now, I can't even tell you, go to MatthewLesco.com, get on his mailing list. There are programs for, did you lose money during the bug? Yeah, who didn't? I can't believe how many restaurants and bars are going belly up because of it. They should have got a food truck. I want a food truck. I want a food truck. But it's going to be cupcakes and my chocolate mousse brownies. And I'm going to park next to the dispensary.
Right.
I'll become a community favorite at the dispensary.
About these businesses that are in trouble, that disquiets me. Some of the companies that are in trouble are only in trouble because they don't want to pay a living wage.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly,
honestly, folks, it's time to let those businesses slide into the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's time for owners of businesses to realize that if we pay our employees a living wage, they'll stay with us. They'll help
True.
us. They'll help us grow. They'll help us expand. They'll help us because we're paying them what they're worth.
They'll help us be more than we've ever been before with just a little goose.
And look, if McDonald's can up and decide to across the board start paying all of their employees 15 plus an hour,
13 right now,
well, they've
Michigan.
recently announced that they're moving their minimum pay to the $15 mark across the board, at least in this country.
Mhm.
In France, Japan, and England, I think you get 73 pounds sterling
Mhm.
every 3 days in England.
Which is, I think, $2.2 per pound, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every 3 days, they're making $300 and some a day, or $300 and some every 3 days.
Not bad.
That's not bad wages.
The living wage, yeah.
Yeah,
The living
that's
wage.
for flipping burgers. That's a decent wage. I've flipped burgers. If they'd have paid me that much money, I might have stayed around.
Tell me about it. I have flipped more burgers than no. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. It's that bad. Conversely, in the UK, McDonald's is in big trouble, and this falls into the category of you had one job to do. They have run out of milkshakes and French fries. What? Those are staples.
Because they can't sell French fries that they sell here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And what they call milkshakes here aren't permissible under new food and drug
Mad cow
guidelines
thing.
in the UK.
Hmm.
Because they don't have any food content. You gotta have food content to sell food in the UK.
Well, they make cheese food, and that ain't no food. Conversely, in Canada, they have very good fries, which are McCain's fries, and the McCain's fries are the ones that the American Mickey D's uses. You can buy them in the grocery store. Put them in your air fryer. We got an air fryer. I had to have. Here's a Jupiter Saturn story. Had to have an air fryer. Had to. Now, granted, the first meal I planned to make in the air fryer was chili cheese onion rings. Are you with me? Past the Zantac. Okay. And how Zantac sells Zantac? They killed people. Never mind. Forget that.
Don't pass the Zantac.
We just spun past that you killed
Pass
people.
the Altoids.
You would have died somehow. So I got the air fryer, and it works. It takes about the same amount of time. I use a little veggie spray. It's all good. And now that I don't have an oven, I may try to air fry chicken. Who knows? But yeah, had to have it. Sat there for, are you ready? A year. Now, it was a $49.95 air fryer. Here's how Virgo shop. $49.95 air fryer that I got for $15 American, free shipping. Yes. There's a reason to go on penny
for that sale.
I wrapped it for myself for Christmas. I looked surprised. Oh, for me, I always wanted one of these, and sat there for a year. And then finally I dug it out and I used it. Now, this is not a bad thing. It's kind of nice not to have. When dinner comes out in a greasy clump, I get the wind already. My stomach goes, you're going to eat that bit? Yeah, with cheese and onion rings.
We were at that moment where it was either get an Instapot or get an air fryer. And we figured the Instapot would come in more useful. So we went ahead and got the Instapot.
Okay.
Katie Bug got the air fryer first. She has made everything you can imagine in that air fryer.
Apple fritters. Oh, yes. Forget that healthy stuff.
She's got a healthy experimental side, so she's been making like air fried asparagus, stuff that you wouldn't normally think a 21-year-old would even consider. But
go figure.
She's listened to me and her mama for so long, she doesn't like processed food anymore.
No.
And she's learned how to be a cook. If she needs a recipe, she'll call her mama and get a recipe. If she needs ideas, she'll call me and get ideas. If she needs some off the cuff stuff, she'll call JC and say, "Hey, tell me how to do that thing." What thing? You have to
My
be more
girls,
specific.
my girls are both very good cooks. Lisa is more of a chef type. She'll make a loaf of bread that takes 4 hours. No, I'll go to the store and buy one for $3. Courtney used to try and cook at home. Oh my God! And I had saved my money for ages because I wanted to get a set of chef's pans, copper chef's pans. Unfortunately, they had wooden handles, and she would kind of leave that handle over the gas burner, don't you know? And I'd be, what is burning? Oh, it's just my pricey pots and pans. That's all right, honey. Go right to it.
Mhm.
Oh, oh,
I cook in stainless steel and cast iron.
mine's mostly stainless steel. Although I got two incredibly magical frying pans, a set from a company called Da Vinci, I think. Amazon, of course, and they're stone, and they require nothing. The only thing it does require is, because they stay hot, you have to be careful when you're cooking eggs. But beyond that, you just wipe them out with a sponge and dry them off, and they're done. Yes, I'm
We
like,
have a ceramic Dutch oven and we have a cast iron Dutch oven. Which one is going on the road?
and the good news is you're not packing anything you don't need. So when you get back, you may discover you really don't need it. Clutter beats.
What I told them when we decided we weren't having the yard sale this weekend was, we'll just stuff everything into the storage space, and when we get back, we'll have a yard sale on the top of the mountain, and we'll sell everything we realized we didn't need.
And you won't know till you walk away from it.
Yeah.
But it's like losing my house, which I thought would truly kill me. I got over myself.
It was actually kind of liberating, wasn't it?
It was. I'm walking away with clothes on my back. I probably, had I been given time to plan, it would have been a little better than that. But it's nice not to need so much. These kids across the street I was looking, there were 6 toys on the block, and I thought, that's $3,000 worth of something. That could feed people. That could educate these kids. Buy them a little kid computer. Let them get smart. They're getting tan. They're staying busy. I don't think they get lunch because mom's still drunk by then.
Get them a leapfrog learning tablet.
Exactly.
Where you can decide for yourself what they actually have access to.
And the programs are cheap. Maisie had them when she was 2.
Beans is 27 months. They know their alphabet. They know their primary colors. They know their blended colors. They can communicate in ASL. They can communicate in French. They can communicate Spanish. They can communicate in Athabascan, Cree, Lakota, Cherokee, because we've given them educational stuff to play with. We continually talk to them in the wrong language. I'm not, if Beans asks me what something means, I will explain it. But most of the time, Beans is like, okay, I said this. Okay, and this is what I'm doing right now. So Beans is so smart that Beans has figured out that if Oprah says Shana Siwa, Oprah's watching me. If Oprah says, if I say this, they know that, I don't need to be on top of this table right now. Okay. All right. If I say that, they don't need to be crawling across the backside of the couch the wrong way. Okay. We don't want them to fall. We don't want them to hurt themselves. So teaching them language by immersing them in the language.
Easiest way.
At 27 months, they're a multilingual child.
Brilliant. I would expect nothing less.
They know their numbers. They count to 20.
And the most important thing is Beans knows that Auntie Linda is a soft touch.
Auntie Linda's sending me some more clothes. Woohoo!
Yeah. That's why when my fab kids rolled over, see, it's one of the evil things like the receipts you get at CVS. For every dollar you spend, you get a point. And Maisie's outgrown them. So I'm thinking, Bean, forgive me when I get you a tutu, kid, because I know the dude side of you is not going to love it. But my little,
Actually, he'll wear it before she will.
well, that's good.
She's a little Tom girl.
Striped tights and a tutu. Sundresses. Yeah, there we go.
They love
Yeah.
their rompers. They love their sundresses. They love confusing people.
Well, that's a skill set. Nothing I love more than walking into a wedding and they say, "Where's the minister?"
They're
It's like,
growing up a sacred clown in a house full of sacred clowns.
mm-hmm,
There can be nothing better.
mm-hmm.
They're going to be able to express. They're going to be able to live their dreams. They're going to be able to explore. And they won't know any holdbacks, any anchor weights.
Shouldn't be any.
You know, I've watched too many people turn their children into an excuse to have an anchor.
Mm-hmm. I think the worst one of all time is your marriage is shit, so let's have a baby.
Yeah.
Hi.
Now we got a real anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a canker.
Because usually that's the one that sadly ends up having some issue or developing some issue or some need, which hi Shelly ran in the back door.
Okay, now I have to do my kvetching. Hi Shelly ... love ya. So when are you on the show? Y'all and just all in sick. I'm tenacious. I know. Am I
what she's saying, Shelly, is message the producer. We need to get you on the show.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is not the answer I wanted. He. But I'll settle for it. They're still talking. Shelley Bradley's genius, brilliant, beautiful, and was my buddy from back in our CBS days 13 years ago. She got smart. I stayed. End of story. The end. The end. So, yeah, you can read your astrological forecast tonight about 8:15 at the astralbaglady.net. I have many, many blogs, including the dream one. I recommend that. It's Neptune and Pisces. Wowie zowie. What dreams. And podcasts of this broadcast are available just about anywhere. I like YouTube, but that's because, it's on my big flat screen.
Well, with YouTube, you get to watch
You make faces.
me make faces. On the other
When I'm losing enough chins, I'll be there making faces with you.
On the other platforms, you just get to hear us laughing. So it's your choice. Click on Spotify, follow us on Spotify. Click on YouTube, follow us on YouTube. Every follow is a step towards that next goal.
Yeah. Yeah. And we made 9 cents. Damn.
Oh, I didn't tell you.
What? It up?
It's dividing out to 10 cents a piece now.
Whoa, holy shnikes.
We're getting there.
If we just had penny candy stores, that would be a fortune.
I know, right?
Actually, there's a party store that sells my favorite, those big, long pretzels that I can't chew. Those stick pretzels for
my birthday. I'll go get the penny dispensary specials.
They always have them. The only problem is make sure you don't want to function. Because they are 100%. I've got a bag full of them. They're 100%.
For JC's 21st, we took JC all over Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we must have hit like 15 dispensaries so JC could go in and get her penny joint.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's your birthday. What do you want to do? What do you think?
Might be a mile high. Well, thank you, folks. This has been wonderful. As you know, it's kind of a coffee clutch with dear friends and beloveds. Once again, I think her name was Joanne, reach out to me, abaglady01@att.net, and I can help you with those questions. And God bless your daughter's not earthbound. We'll be back again in
168 hours.
There you go.
Blessings, everyone.
Peace out.
Join us and see us later this evening on Spirit Soaring. Take a walk with me.
You betcha.